Cash Digital again. Fellas, how you doing today?
We Gucci, baby.
Man, light and easy, baby. Light and easy. Glad to be in the building.
It's good to get. I'm glad you have headphones on, man, because you're the one that normally has an echo. So it's good that you finally figured out that you're the echo guy. Like, they Ray's the one that freezes a lot, and you're the echo person.
Man, my
So
video been good the last 5 weeks.
it was freezing last week too. I don't know what be going on. I don't know if the girls be on the internet. You be on the internet at the same time. I don't know. Is it you don't? You have cable, right?
So I don't have cable, but I have two routers. I have the Fios router and I got my extender, right? So I always be on the extender because everybody else is on the main router. And I'm right
You know,
by the
two
extender.
routers don't make it. You know, two routers don't make your internet faster, right?
It ain't about fast, it's just separating the networks of people being on the main one versus my extender
Yeah,
and my second router.
you have two routers, right?
Yeah, I got two routers.
That still doesn't do anything because it comes from the same modem.
True, but it shouldn't have as many people on the second route in the network. So that was my whole logic, and that's where the TV's on.
Now you just gotta get a more powerful router.
Probably that could
Yeah,
be.
the first one. The first router you have, that because the extender ain't gonna help you either. Like the extender is only extended. It's just based off the initial router. Yeah, it's still gonna go a little slower. It's gonna drag a little bit, but it's not. It's good. You just gotta get more of a stronger router, bro. I understand. I get it. Yeah, you're the one that normally is dragging though. Yeah, it is definitely your service. I didn't realize it one day until last week. I'm like, man, I can barely hear what he's saying, but I'm gonna keep going. So, but we're back though, and that's
We
good. We're
back at
back.
it.
We're healthy. We're missing one, but it's all good, man. He'll get on. He doing what the hell he normally doing. Um, but we got a big one today, man. We got, this is Super Bowl, it's a Super Bowl show, Super Bowl edition. It's Super Bowl Sunday down in New Orleans. Been a lot going on. I've loved it. You see a lot of celebrities down in New Orleans. We see a lot of uh, um, NFL players. All the shows. Everybody supporting with the Super Bowl down in New Orleans, down in the Superdome. So before we get into our actual conversation of the teams and just talk about that discussion, like how you feeling so far to just lead up to the Super Bowl, Ray? Start us off with that.
Man, it's going to be a great matchup. Two great teams. Both teams are great defensively. Both can be explosive on offense. It's going to be a great matchup, man. And, just shout out to New Orleans. And I'm not being a homer because I'm from there. But they put on a show, bro. Like everything you see on social media, from like the light show in the St. Louis Cathedral, just the people, the vibe, French Quarters is packed. Like everywhere it seemed like they're just having a great time. And I think it helped too. Philly is a fan base, bro. They travel big time, though. They kind of like Pittsburgh, bro. Like, everywhere you go, you see a lot of Pittsburgh fans. Philly has really taken over, man. But it's gonna be a great matchup today. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing, to see everybody in the city, and having a lot of people there. And like you said, both fan bases travel pretty well. Philly, they feel like this their year. They acquired Saquon in the summer, and in their mind, he is going to be the person to get them over the hump. So I can see them being real excited and just having a good time, because that's what it's all about. That's what the Super Bowl is for, having a good time. And the biggest thing is you got two black quarterbacks again. You know what I'm saying? You got two black quarterbacks, playing in the Super Bowl with what we got going on. You got a situation that, you got two guys that's playing at a pretty much at elite level, got their teams back in the same situation again, and hopefully to come out on top.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think in this the reason why I asked that question, I do think New Orleans is a very good host city. When it comes to the Super Bowl, they do a very good job. I think because of the was that what's the guy who one time when I had to take a cab down there, he was explaining to me, they always try to explain the parameters of the city and how it's built like a crescent or something like that, right? I don't know. It's built like a crescent or a triangle, whatever he's how he explained it to me, right? But the notion of where it's at, where it's located, downtown, it's not a huge like walkway. You're not traveling far to get to the next destination. Now it can get crowded. That's the one negative thing about it that you probably gonna have issues with. And I've been hearing about people getting sick down there because it's so many bodies down there. You just don't know what type of illness you're gonna pick up while you're down there because so many people. But it is because it's a small parameters. It is and for home people. It gets crowded very quickly. But it's one of those cities that needs to be a part of like that rotation. I think the fact that last time I was down there in 2012 was a little crazy. Because I think it tends to be in the All Star Weekend rotation very often, more than it is so as far as Super Bowl. So it definitely needs to be one of those cities. That Atlanta, um, Houston, maybe Miami, Tampa, warm cities like that. I love the fact that it's down there because it's warm. I heard it's fairly warm down there too.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot you get to expose to the culture, um, the people. Too bad Lil Wayne won't be watching it, but other than that, man, listen, I'm glad New Orleans is getting the shine that it needs, especially at this time of the year, this time of from the last situation we had where the guy what happened as far as the devastating act that happened down there. So it's good just to see that positive light, get the city rejuvenated again. I'm glad the NFL didn't turn away from it and move it after that situation. So it's just cool to see that what New Orleans has to offer because it has so much to offer. And so that we're gonna get into the game. And the game is Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs. These starters off, and what are you expecting to see today with this monumental matchup, a rematch from 2 years ago?
From a Philly standpoint, can Jalen Carter be dominant on the defensive side of the ball? Can he can he get to Patrick Mahomes? Can he disrupt what they want to do in the run game? Can he disrupt what they can do in the passing game? And will the other defensive linemen come with him? With Brandon coming back, that I think that's going to give him a lift on defense. But can the zone defense of Philly slow down the offense of Kansas City? And like I said before, Kansas City offense haven't looked that good in the past 2 years since oh boy left. With what's the guy name? Bieniemy. Since Bieniemy left, I don't think they look as dominant on offense since he left. It's been more of a steady Eddie. Let's keep the ball, let's move the ball down the field.
Was that
Let's
the
go.
enemy or is that because
Bieniemy.
of
I just
Cheetah.
think I just
the
I
cheetah?
just think
Because
nah,
I think that maybe
I
the
just think
player maybe is the reason why.
nah, because you got other guys that are, I mean, don't get me wrong, Cheetah was one of the best things that ever could have happened to Kansas City, but I just think that when the enemy left, they just didn't produce as much. And I think this particular game, I think the Chiefs is going to put up more than 30 points. I
We got
just
to put an
think they got
asterisk to that. Let's put an asterisk to that because you're saying that
put an
like,
asterisk.
see, you got to put an asterisk because you're saying that like you're saying that like he's the reason why they're no longer playing at a high
Well,
level. But
well,
what offense has looked great since he left?
well, that's true. I mean, it hasn't.
No,
It hasn't.
what offense has he been an OC a part of? All offense that he has
True.
commanded as an OC. I mean, UCLA was in knocking down
True.
doors
And
and
we didn't. But I think we'd have looked better if he'd had us. Well, because when we didn't have the quarterback. We didn't have the
okay.
quarterback when he was in Washington, and I think that made a big difference, in our situation. But I do think this particular game, they can Philly stop what Kansas City want to do, and I think
Okay.
from having Nuke Hopkins being in his first Super Bowl, having Juju Smith-Schuster, who really killed Philly the last time in the Super Bowl, and you got Worthy, you got another speech, you got Hollywood Brown. Can Philly slow them down from a standpoint of how they play? Because if you watch the game last week, Zach Ertz had a big day. He had a big day against Philly, and I think on the back half, I don't think their safeties are big enough to cover Juju Smith-Schuster and Kelsey. I just don't, and I think that's where the advantage from Kansas City is going to come in. And if you can't stop them from moving the ball down the field, that means Saquon is on the bench. That means Jalen on the bench. That means Brown on the bench. So now they doing everything they need to do to move the ball down the field and score points. So I think for me, can Jalen Carter disrupt? Can Jalen Carter disrupt what Kansas City has going on defense? and the other guys on the defensive line come with them. And on the flip side with Kansas City, are your DBs going to tackle? Are they going to fit when they when Philly runs the ball off tackle and Saquon bounce it out? Are your safeties going to come down and tackle and force Jalen to beat you? I think those are the biggest, for me, those are the things on each side.
Yeah, for me, man, I want to see who's going to win the line of scrimmage. Kansas City stout up front. Spaz going to have them ready. Philly, Philly got a great dominant O-line. And for me, for Philly, for defensively, they got to keep Patty in the pocket, right? You can't let Patty get those out of the pocket plays, scramble for 10 yards, scramble for 12, and extend plays, because, Philly defense has had, 10 sacks in the playoffs, like almost 30, 40 pressures. So can they inflict their pressure on Patty, but yet keep him in the pocket? Because when he get out the pocket now, Kelsey get the freelance and get open. He can hit Worthy on those crossing routes and get him on big plays. So for Philly, they got to keep Patty in the pocket, man. And then offensively for Philly, I need to see the Jalen Hurts that played against Commanders. But he threw over 200-something yards. He's able to make some plays with his legs. They still got Saquon going. So that's the offense I want to see from Philly. Now, Kansas City, they got to get Kelsey going early. It seems like he's the engine that make them go. And then get Pacheco going. He's been hurt all year. He hasn't really got his feet under him. I want to see him getting going in the running game and the passing game. And D-Hop going to be big too. D-Hop is one of the elite receivers in the league. I think he still has it. But you got to get Kelsey going, get Pacheco going, and, get D-Hop. But definitely, it's going to be a great matchup. Both got great interior lines. It's going to be a great chess match, though.
I think you guys said all three things here. The one, O-line, D-line, the line in general, big plays, going to have big plays done on both sides of the football. Chris Jones is going to need a big play, a big game. The linebackers at that level for Kansas City is going to be humongous. Can you stop Saquon? Can you stop Saquon? I mean, with that front seven, if you got to put 8 and 9 in the box, you're going to have it's over. You cannot stop them with that, with just their front seven. So you're going to have to put that 8th in the box. If you can't cover Antonio Brown, which is going to be a humongous situation. He dominated them last time. Antonio Brown dominated that game last time. I think it's going to be key who's guarding, who's checking Devontae Smith. Who's taking what's the tight end?
Goddard.
That's going to be a huge situation. Like, can they stay? Can they stop him? Can they keep him from getting the ball? Like that, he's going to play a humongous part of this game because those in betweens, Philly tends to have a lot of 3rd and 2, 4th and 1. Is he going to? What can you do? Can you stop him with those safeties? Is Eric Reed going to play a big game in this? Is he going to be able to get in there and slow him down? Like I said, Devontae Smith. Who's on Devontae Smith? That's going to be big. They're probably going to have to double Antonio Brown because he's such a matchup problem against them. Every single time he's played him, he's had humongous games. So what will they do on that matchup alone, knowing that he's going to be a major factor? I just don't. I like what I'm seeing as far as Philly, as far as the offensive matchups against KC defense, but I also say the same thing about KC's offense against Philly defense. The interior line has been the strength. What has not been the strength of Kansas City is those tackles, right? And I think that's going to be a major play. Will those tackles be a problem? I don't know. Like, will they come into play? Will Nolan Smith have a big game? I think they just activated somebody off the IR today. Actually yesterday. They cleared him for the Super Bowl. Grant. Is that going to make a play? Will Josh, his last name, will he be making another play? That's going to be their D tackles versus KC's own tackles going to be part of the game. Because as much as Patty can run, defense has a fast, free-flowing defense. They attack the ball. And what we saw against the Bills is when Patty people get around and gets a little flustered, he lost the ball. He actually had 2 fumbles. He had 1 fumble they got back, and 1 fumble he lost. So it's just one of those things where will they be able to make those plays? Will Philly be flying to the ball like they normally do? I don't think Dean's playing. I think Dean's out for the season. Um, but they do have some heavy hitters from Johnson at the safety, and Blankenship, his way he plays the game, and then you got the two rookies. They're going to be big. Like what those two rookies going to put out there. This is a different secondary than it was outside Big Game Slay. That's it. Everybody else is a brand new secondary. So Reed Blankenship's going to play a major factor in this game. The rookie from Iowa's going to play. Quinn Mitchell's going to play that. Will he able to lock his side down? Because if he does what he does, Hawkins ain't going to have a game. Just that fact, man. He's not going to have a big game if Mitchell plays the way he should play. It's going to be big. I think the Commander game was an outlier because Philly got ahead so quickly. They kind of went to prevent defense at some point, kind of just kept everything in front of them, didn't really worry about it. At one point, it was 30. It was like 28-7 or something around that time they scored. 28.
No.
They were up 34-23.
It's like 31-14.
14-12. They was up 14-12 in the second quarter.
No.
And that's when they got. Yes, it was, bro.
No, they got up to 31-14.
It was 31-14. No, they were up by one. Y'all scored. Y'all scored like 2 times in a row, made it 20. Y'all made it like 34-23 or 34-24. Something like that.
Y'all right.
Yeah, they were smacking y'all. They were smacking y'all, and they went. And I think they kind of went previous defense.
Hold on. In the championship game, they was not. They was up 14-12. And then, boy gave up the 4th and 5, and then they scored off the 4th and 5, and then we fumbled. That's why they was up 28-12.
No, they were up 20. No, when y'all fumbled, I think they were 34-23.
No, they was not, bro.
Yeah, they were. They were at one point, they were up 14-0. They were up to 14.
When Eckler fumbled, y'all, they was up 11.
Bro, listen what I'm saying. Before halftime, they was up 14-12. Before halftime started, they was up 14-12. They got a 4th and 5.
Man, look that up, man. Look that up. Look that up, bro. I don't think so, bro.
Listen, bro, hold on, bro. Before halftime, that's how they got the 28. They was up 14. They was up 14-12. Boy gave up the 4th and 5 to Brown. When he got the 4th and 5,
it's easy to look it up. I mean, you gotta go through all this. Y'all got laptops like that. Look that up, man, because that don't even make sense.
They was up 28-12 at halftime, bro. I watched the whole time.
No, but y'all fumbled the ball, so they were smoking y'all, so they went to prevent defense.
Right.
That's why Eckler had such a big game.
Bro, you right, bro.
They were giving up nothing. They gave her everything underneath.
Right. Pull the joint up on the joint. Bro, because I know I'm right about the game. Before the third quarter started.
Boy getting sassy on the mic.
In the second quarter, they was up 14-12 when Brown got that 4th and 5 against Lattimore. They went in and scored. Then after that happened, we fumbled the ball on the kickoff, and they scored again. And then we ended up.
But you're making our point. They were up, and that's why old boy had such a big game. You're making a point. The point is, Eckler had a big game. Why did Eckler have a big game? Because they were playing pretty much prevent defense.
But they didn't go prevent defense. They didn't go to. But what I'm saying, they didn't go to prevent defense until after y'all got that touchdown after that 4th and 5, and we fumbled the ball right after kickoff, and they scored again. That's why they went to prevent defense.
Bro, they were smoking y'all, bro.
They went in prevent defense.
They were smoking. At close, y'all got was like 11 points, and then they smoked y'all again. They smoked
the close we got
3 times in a row, actually.
It was 14-12 at one point in the game, bro. What are you talking about?
Y'all went for 2, didn't get it. Yeah, what happened, right?
They were 14-12, and they gave
and then they come down to score.
They got a 4th and 5, and they scored, and then we fumbled again. But
a 4th and 5 mean they scored, right?
All right, James, go ahead.
You making a point. Did they score on the next drive?
Bro, they scored on that same drive.
Did they score on the next drive? Just answer the question, man. This is like a courtroom. Answer the question. Did they score on the next drive? Did they score?
Yes, they scored.
Did they score again?
After they got the fumble, yes.
It don't matter if they fumble or not. How you get the ball? How you get the points? Get the points. Did they score again?
Listen what I'm saying. You're saying they went prevent defense the whole game. No, they did not.
I never said that. No, I did not. I said they were smoking y'all and they were prevent defense. Man, learn to listen. Like, that's what you need to do. Learn to listen. That's the first factor in your life. You can learn to listen. What I'm telling you.
They wasn't smoking us in the beginning. They were not.
It don't matter. They were smoking you, wasn't it? They won 55-24, did they not?
All right, bro. It got bad in the third, late in the third and the fourth. But
Now
the game was
it
close.
got bad all of a sudden. They're like, did they smoke you or not, dog? Did they smoke you?
The game was close up until the third quarter, bro. What are you talking about?
28-12 at one point?
Right, you're right. Yeah, they were 28-12, and then we came back.
What does that tell you? Raven.
Whatever, bro.
Raven.
You right,
it's 28-12. What does that tell you?
You right, bro.
Yo, that was getting in that ass.
Like one point, like yo, what else do you want? Like,
Diamond, don't be getting sassy because your team got the ass.
You're right, bro.
Take the L, dog.
Right, bro.
Go about your business, man.
Well, you've been taking them. You've been taking them, so it don't matter.
Now listen, it is. You listen. You can love it. Hey, you can love it all your day long. You happy you had a good little season. But at the end of the day, you got smacked. We've been smacked before. You got smacked too. It is what it is. It is what it is. Now, when you get that harder schedule, we're gonna talk a little bit more. When you get that little tougher schedule, we're gonna see what you be doing all that talking next season. Anyway, like I said, man, I like both matches on both sides offensively, but I do have a problem with those tackles for KC. I am preparing for Nolan Smith to have a big impact on this game. I like to play him a little bit more than Graham. Graham's coming back off injuries, going to probably not have the win level, but it does create more depth. But I do like the fact that I think Philly will be able to get back there. They have quick, fast tackles. They will make a problem. Jalen Carter is going to play, but he's one of the best tackles in the game. So him having a big game, small game, I don't think that's going to happen. He always makes an impact. It's really his backup, Jordan Davis. Will that dude have a big game? Will he be able to come in and back him up and play well? Those are the things I'm looking forward to seeing. I think it's going to be a very, very, very good game. I'm excited about this one. We know that. Which one y'all got an echo, man? One y'all still got the echo. I don't know who it is. Let me see who it is here. Let me see. Yep, that's who it is. Echo guy himself. So every time.
I don't know why.
I think it's because you probably wire your headphones instead of using headphones, or you got the volume up. It's one or the other. It's gonna be the volume up, or because if it's going through your headset, you should hear it. I can hear the delay.
You still can hear it?
Let me see. No, I can't. There we go.
All right.
That worked. There you go. Finally, man. There you go. All right, so I think this is gonna be a good one, man. I think Jalen Hurts is gonna play well. I think Jalen Hurts is not going to be the immediate factor, but I think he'll be a benefactor of what's going to go on. And if they win a turnover battle, which is going to be key, last time they lost it. That's how they lost. Yeah. So they got to win that turnover battle. Last time they had that one fumble, and that was the game. That was it. That ended the game for them. So I like this. Like I said, it's going to be a pretty good matchup. I think KC may have their hands full with a young, vibrant team that's kind of frustrated on losing last time. Any more topics on this?
Nah, I think we're good.
All right, so before we make our pick'ems, who do you think is going to be the Super Bowl MVP of this game?
I'm going with Patty. Period.
They Patty?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's who your pick gonna be then.
You already know.
You didn't go with Patty last 2 weeks ago. How about that?
Yeah, I did.
No, you did. You went with Buffalo Bill.
No, you went with the Buffalo Bills. I went with Patty.
That's actually not true. You need to go record and listen again. I'm the only person that went. No. I'm the only person that picked it right. I was the only one that picked it right.
Well, that maybe that's between you, Ray, and Key.
Nah, they don't between no. I was the only person that picked it right.
I've been rolling with Patty the whole.
You picked the Commanders. Did you pick the Commanders and Bills? You definitely picked the Commanders.
No. I picked the Commanders and KC.
And who did you pick, Ray?
I picked the Bills.
And the Eagles, right?
Yep. I
was the only person that picked the Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. So it's just funny how you hopping all over them all of a sudden. Anyway, go ahead, Ray. Who you got? Who you got as the Super Bowl MVP?
I got Jalen, bro. I think it's his time. I think it's the biggest stage. He gonna make plays with his legs. So I think that he gonna pull it out this week. He's gonna pull it out tonight. Yeah,
man. I think you still it from my notes, man. I think it's gonna be Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
I want to say Saquon, but I think this is going to be a Jalen Hurts game. I think he's going to redeem a lot of different things. I still feel like people keep bring up the Alabama game way too much when it comes to his name. Being that he just didn't play well in the national championship game. I mean, the kid was 19, and they keep bringing it up like this kid was, like a seasoned veteran, professional player that just lost the game for him. They still won the game. I mean, so stop bringing that up for Jalen. This is going to be his redemption game. He'll be Super Bowl MVP, and put that man name in the top 5 of these quarterbacks. Stop trying. He's the only quarterback that's been there twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you go through the NFC, there's no other quarterback that's been there twice. There's a current quarterback in the NFL right now in the NFC. So put it out there. Hell, Aaron Rodgers ain't been there twice.
Yeah.
So let's start putting it out there. Give that man his respect. I think Jaden's gonna be MVP. All right, so Ray, hit it up for us real quick.
Let's go.
Now it's time for the Arvin Brothers NFL Pickups.
All right.
All right, so you know how we do this. Donaldson, you started off. Ray, you're next. And then I finish it out. D, who you got winning the Super Bowl?
KC, Patty.
Okay.
Man, every time we get against Patty, they win. But I'm going EAGLES. Eagles. Let's go. I think it's their time, dog.
Yeah, if I pick the Super Bowl MVP to Jalen Hurts, I gotta say it's gonna be Jalen. The Eagles win the Super Bowl. I think the Eagles will win the Super Bowl. I think it'll be a very, very close game. But I just feel like on the perimeter, outside, he's going to make the plays, get the ball to the guys he need to. I expect Devontae Smith and also A.B. Brown both have humongous games. I think they're both going to have really big games in this game. And yeah, I just like their skill players a little bit better. I like this year the Kansas City skill players. I just don't see where the separation is. The better secondary. So I like to see the Eagles win this one. So I think the Eagles will win the Super Bowl, and we will have to listen to the Eagles fan base for so long.
Boy, they win, bro. They're gonna be partying until Monday.
Oh yeah, ain't no party. Monday ain't gonna party until like next Monday. Ain't gonna be no working. I'll tell you that.
Look, they might miss flights, dog. They gonna be
no working. I'll tell you that. So
they gonna
good luck to both
teams.
teams. Good luck to both teams. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar. Hope you have a great performance.
Oh yeah, he gonna put on.
I wanted Key to be honest with you. Ask what he's gonna watch. As he
y'all think he gonna perform not like us?
If he does, it's cool.
But even with the lawsuit, even with the lawsuit going on,
I don't think that lawsuit really affects him. So why
not?
Shit, I mean, the NFL getting mixed in a lawsuit battle. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but
I think gonna get mixed in it. He's just performing the song.
Yeah, I don't know all the legal ramifications, but
I mean,
it's a huge song, though.
They said they can't. Ain't nobody said he can't perform it.
Yeah, it's a huge song.
I mean, for me, I don't think it's that big of a deal. To be honest with you, I mean, next time win the rap battle, then he won't be able to perform it.
Yeah,
so, you know what I mean. So it's just that simple. I mean, he got to perform. I mean, what else he gonna perform? Some of the songs, I don't know if it's culturally appropriate for them to. They're not gonna enjoy it like maybe the black people enjoy it. You know what I mean? But
the white people listening to all that music, dog.
But I mean, some do. Not all of them. Like, you know what I mean? Some people rap them. Snoop Dogg rapped in front of the crypto ball. That don't mean that everybody knew the lyrics.
They know it, though. You best believe they know it.
They knew some lyrics. They ain't know all of it.
Yes, they ain't know all of it.
They knew some lyrics. They knew the lyrics they wanted to say. They ain't know all the lyrics. So it's simple fact that I just don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, only person affected is Drake, right?
Yeah.
So good luck on that.
Yeah, I think Kendrick gonna put on. He gonna put. He got that type of music, bro, where like he can put a choreography together. Like I think he gonna definitely put on a show. Bringing out SZA,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think that's gonna be great. That's the person that I was kind of shocked because I don't really know her music like that. So I don't know whether they're gonna perform it. I guess they can perform the song they have together.
Yeah.
But I don't know her music like that. Like
He
I
might
don't
give her
know.
one
Like,
song or two. He might give her a
yeah,
song or two.
I don't know who that is. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm that's the only person I don't know.
She cold.
Okay. All right. So yeah, man, I'm excited for it. You know what I mean? I'll pay attention to it. But it's one of those things where, but if you ask me, should he perform it? Why not? I mean, what that supposed to do?
Yeah.
It's not like it's a problem.
We gonna see.
We'll see. All right, man. Let's get into some NFL discussions. Um, let's talk about the Josh Allen winning the MVP. If a lot of people don't know this, Josh Allen won the MVP. Lamar actually was All Pro first team, and which is very not the normal state. Normally, do you have an All Pro first team quarterback that's did what Lamar's did in the past season? No, will win the MVP. So let's talk about it a little bit for a second. And Don, you start us off again. Was Lamar robbed of the MVP, or was Josh Allen deservedly right to win it?
He was robbed. Look at the stats. I mean, the dude threw for 48 touchdowns, what, 6 picks? Josh Allen only had 28 touchdowns, what, 4 picks, something like that. I'm like, come on, bro. Like the proof is in the pudding. And if you're saying the award comes from it's a season award, then my team smashed you during the season. Like, period. And I think the media and I mean, don't get me wrong, Josh Allen is a great quarterback, but they want to push him in front of Lamar so bad that they had to give him this award. Like, I'm like, bro, look at the stats. Look at what's going on. And I don't want to hear about, well, Josh Allen has some new people. You know, they got this, they got that. They lost Stephon Diggs. They lost Gabe to Jacksonville, all that. Guess what? You're professionals. That's your GM problem. You know what I'm saying? To bring people in to get your team to the next level. So at the end of the day, I think Lamar was robbed. The proof is in the pudding. And I just think that, listen, if the man played the best, he played the best. Period. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I think that's where the media need to cut this foolishness out. Well, you know, Josh should have got it last year. Well, hell, the people should have voted for Josh last year. You know what I'm saying? They should have voted for him. Don't wait till after it's over with. Lamar come back to and have a great year, and then you come back and say, well, you know, we might have should have gave it to Josh last year because his season was better or whatever, and Lamar had a greater season this year, and then you just give it to Josh because you didn't give it to him last year. That's why you got voting. That's why you got votes. Make it right the first time and then be done with it. You know, I just think he got robbed. Period. The proof is in the pudding. Lamar has played the best, and actually, it helped Derrick Henry go from what he was doing, even make his season even better. You know, for what he was averaging in Tennessee last year and what he was averaging this year. So, I mean, at the end of the day, he got robbed, and that's just what it is.
Man, you crazy. Man, I could see if like Joe Burrow would have won it or something like that for him to be like, oh, yeah, he was robbed. So Josh Allen had over 40 touchdowns combined, 6-7 turnovers. And that was the big knock on Josh Allen in the previous years. He turned the ball over too much. He turned it over less this year, losing Stephon Diggs. His team had a better record. Yeah, Baltimore beat him head-to-head early in the year. But Josh had a great year as well. Lamar was well deserving of it too. So I wouldn't say he was robbed. Josh had a good year. His team had a better team success, right? You look at the pieces that Buffalo had versus what Baltimore had. Yeah, Baltimore was loaded. You know, picked up Derrick Henry, who almost had 1,900 yards. You look at what Buffalo had, losing Stephon Diggs, who was going to be their number one. And at the end of the day, Josh won it, dog. I don't say Lamar was robbed. He was well deserving of it. And if Lamar would have won it, people could have been like, Josh was robbed. Like, it was so close of a vote. It went either way. But at the end of the day, bro, I wouldn't say Rob Lamar. Both of them had great years, you know. But at the end of the day, you know, Josh won, bro, because Lamar going to put up these type of numbers pretty much every year. If he's healthy, he could win it every year, but he's just not. It's like Michael Jordan could have won more MVPs, but it just don't happen, though. He's not going to win every year, regardless of how many big stats he put up, right? LeBron could win more MVPs. Kobe could have won more. It's just the nature of the business, bro. He's not going to win it every year. And Josh won it, bro. And, you know, you can't say he was robbed.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
For real.
Like, I
For
don't know what
real.
you're talking about. Like, not only was he robbed, it's kind of a joke. Yeah, so Josh had 40. Josh had 40 combined touchdowns,
Mm-hmm.
12 touchdowns rushing, which a lot of them was 1 yard touchdowns, maybe 2 yard touchdowns. And we won't get into that factor. But and then he had 28 touchdowns passing. So Lamar threw for more yards, threw for more passing touchdowns, rushed for more yards. And I think Lamar had 4 rushing touchdowns. I think Lamar had 900 rushing compared to Josh's 400. Then and then Lamar had 41 touchdowns compared to Josh's 28. And then Lamar had 4 interceptions compared to Josh's 6. So he outmastered him in every single stat except the rushing touchdowns. Okay. All right, understood. So is it MVP or is it you did great for your team? Because the MVP of the league means you're the best player and you got your team to where they got to in the league, right? So and we've been on like I think when Adrian Peterson had like almost 200, I think he had 2,000 yards and came back. He was offensive player of the year, but people thought he was really the MVP, right? Like there's times where there's a robbery, there's a mistake. You made a mistake on this one, right? Like there's no other way around. First of all, whoever voted him fourth, a fourth place vote is ridiculous. Like that's the most dumbest
That's
thing I've
bad.
ever heard in my life. But back to the back we're saying, like the concerns of okay, so Buffalo had a better uh overall record this year. Okay, great. But are we gonna talk about the fact that Cook had a better season than he did last year? The O line was a little bit better this year for Buffalo. They supposed to have like a top one, top two O line, which they never really had before in the past. Like they've accumulated better players. I mean, they do draft. Do they not have they don't have a big name? Okay, great. Well, that the lack of that receiver exposure showed when they played Baltimore the first time in the regular season. They couldn't get move the ball because they didn't have a primary receiver. But also, let's add the fact you talk about the weapons for Baltimore. Well, Likely had a career year. Do you think it's because Lamar had a career year? Lamar had a career year, played well. Likely gets the ball. Um, I know we
Say
talk about
Flowers.
Henry. Henry was great, right? Right. Henry's had a 2,000 yard season, but you don't think because of having Lamar that helped him have a 1,900 yard season? Because now you got to worry about Lamar. You don't think that the O line didn't play better because of Lamar? You don't think that their first receiver they ever draft had a 1,000 yard season and went to a Pro Bowl was not because of Lamar? Like Bateman had a career year this past year, most touchdowns. Aguilar was on this team, had a great year. It's because of Lamar. Like it is because of your players being Pro Bowl selection. It's because of Lamar. It's not because of just they out there. Lighty could probably do what he did anywhere. Maybe, maybe not. We don't know. But because he had a career, it's because Lamar was playing with him. I mean, I just don't understand. In every phase, they always talk about the quarterback making the other players better. When they talk about A-Rod, when they talk about Patrick Mahomes, oh, he makes them better. But when it comes to Lamar, it's because he got 4 Pro Bowlers. It doesn't make sense. The narrative always changes based off him. It doesn't. It makes no. You know, it was also like that at times. Jalen. It's like that with him sometimes. Some other players. It's just like for certain players, they can't make their players around them better. The narrative's got to be that they are Pro Bowlers. So now all of a sudden, now that's why they're better. No, it's because they're playing with a Hall of Fame quarterback. Right? Because you look at A-Rod had a lot of talent with the Jets. Look how he looked this past season. It is what it is. It's just one of those things where they just don't want to give that guy credit. Like they always give Joe Burrow a lot of credit. They never give Chase, who was a triple crown, or
Mm-hmm.
Higgins. They never talk about them in the factor like that. They never say like, "Oh man, you know what? Well, Joe Burrow's only great because Chase is great." Like they don't ever talk about it. But it's crazy how Joe Burrow's had his career years when Chase plays. Like it just never the narrative is never on Lamar making the players around him better, getting the ball out at the right time, getting the ball to the right player, right? Like I just feel like that's the problem. The problem is fatigue. Now you want to tell me it's voter fatigue, We done voted for him twice. He has a career. This year was better than his last two ones combined.
True, but I think it's like I said,
And yet he don't
it probably
win.
is voter fatigue. It probably was voter fatigue. And then
It
they just
has to
had
be.
someone
If you
that
vote
put
for
up
voter
great
fatigue,
numbers
I'll
this
give you
year.
that.
It's gonna happen, bro. Like even if let's say Lamar put up, I mean, yeah, over 4,000 yard passing. Let's say he come back down to let's say 37 and maybe rush for 7, but have similar numbers. He gonna be up for MVP every single year. He's just not gonna win it every year, dog. It's just one of those
But
things.
that doesn't mean that it's not right.
Yeah,
Like,
I get you.
No, you can't just say, "Oh, you know what? That he's good." No, that means it can be. That's a wrong way of evaluating things. If he plays great, he just plays great. You can't just get mad for playing lights out. You can't just say, "Well, hey, we're fatigued." That was the problem with Jordan winning 5 MVPs. He probably should have won 7.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like it is what it is. It don't stop. Here's the thing: there was years that Peyton Manning wasn't always the guy that year. He still won.
Yeah.
He split one year with man, I can't believe I can't be for Alcorn State. Steve McNair. They were co-MVPs. And he still won. Like it just doesn't like at some point, man, you have to be able to say to yourself, like, what are we doing? What are we really doing? If it's not stats, which is supposed to be a stat game, a stat award, okay, then why not give it to Saquon? Saquon really had the best year out of everybody. And he had the most impact on his team. Why not give it to him? He won offensive player of the year.
Yeah.
At some point, you should say, give it to him, let him win the award, vote for him to win the award, and then you could have had Lamar's offensive player of the year. But him not to get one or two.
So Chase had a good year, great year, triple crown, and he could have easily been offensive MVP.
And I mean, Lamar had career highs, bro.
Yeah, I get it.
I
think it's just his voter fatigue, though. I just think it was voter fatigue.
Well, then,
and Josh just had a great enough year for him to win it. I just think
this is not even a career high for Josh. That's the problem I understand. So his touchdowns it was less. He had less turnovers, but he had less passing touchdowns. Yeah. So how is that the difference? Like
I think it's the turnovers, the reckless play. I think all that kind of showing his maturity this year. I think that probably helped him as Lamar.
That makes you play the game better, but that don't make you MVP.
Oh, no doubt.
I just think with that voter fatigue, don't be a voter then. Give up your ballot. Because at the end of the day, if the man is playing better, the man is playing better. That's just a damn excuse. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's just an excuse. Because the problem I have is, if you look at since Lamar and Josh Allen came in the league, it's always been a thing with them two with the media. They want to push Josh to be better than Lamar. Or they got to find ways to push Josh ahead of Lamar. And at the end of the day, he's just not better than Lamar. Let's just call it what it is. He's just not better than.
I'm not saying. We know Lamar is the best.
I'm just saying from a media standpoint, they are always trying to find ways to, push Josh to be better than Lamar. No matter how they look at it. Even Dan said it. Dan Orlovsky, you voted for Lamar on this end, but come back and say, well, Josh is the MVP of the league. That don't even make sense. It don't make sense. Dan and if you got voter, and that's my saying, if you got voter fatigue, then don't be a voter. Don't have a ballot, period. Just don't have a ballot. Because I'm like, bro, you vote for the best player. And like James just said,
but the best player don't always gonna win, dog. Lamar will be the best player every year.
Well, guess what? He need to get the MVP trophy every year.
It's not gonna happen, dog. You know that. This is the thing.
But if Joe Burrow team would have won, he would have got it this year.
He had a phenomenal year too.
But guess what?
His team didn't win.
So that's my point. If Lamar team won and he got him to that point, so what? He keep getting the MVPs.
It's not gonna happen, Donovan. You know that. It ain't even a race. It's not gonna happen, dog.
No, I ain't saying the race thing. I'm just saying give up your ballot if you got voter fatigue. You supposed to vote for the best player that season. I don't give a damn if you gave Michael Jordan 30 of them joints. At the end of the day, y'all made the rules and said who was the best player of that season. Period. That's how it works. That's how it should work.
It's just not gonna happen, bro. And Lamar might end up with 4-5 MVPs, and deservingly could have been more. and when his career is over. But at the end of the day, bro, Josh won, and it ain't like
I mean, we're not worried about. That's not the debate. We see what happened.
Yeah.
Right? We all understand what happened. We're just trying to figure out why in the world did it go this way, knowing that they had an opportunity to do what they supposed to do, which was give it to the guy that actually earned it, who also had a career year. Like, he had a career year. I mean, I don't care. You made it cold, but you got to make it something. You just can't be like, well, you know what I mean? He had a really good year. Like, it doesn't really work that way, bro. Like, that's not how the sport's supposed to work. That's not how it works.
And then the thing of it is, you could have gave it to Saquon. He had a better year than Josh Allen.
shit. Chase, everybody, both Chase had a case too.
And that's my point is, as voters, y'all make, if you're gonna do that, give it to the right person.
So you don't think Josh was the right person? I mean, you don't think he was at least deserving of it?
No.
Oh my God!
No, you just hold on. You just said 3 people that had better seasons: Joe Burrow, Saquon, and the receiver. That's 3 people that was ahead of Josh.
Man, you crazy.
That's 3 people.
Cincinnati ain't even in the. No, it was like what 8, 9. They not gonna be in no MVP talk. They wasn't gonna win it.
This is the thing. If you're saying the best player, they don't put wins and losses of the team to the best player of that season. But it should make a difference. If he's the best player, he's the best player. So you telling me that Chase is not a better player than Josh Allen?
No.
Man, you crazy, Ray. All right.
No.
Okay.
Josh bad, though. He's a bad boy.
Okay.
I don't say I'm not taking away from Josh, but Josh has had better years.
He has had better years. That doesn't mean
have as much turnovers, but he's had better years. And Lamar had a career year. That's the difference that I'm trying to say. Like, Lamar had a career year, and they were like, "No, we're gonna go with Josh." But Josh is not. This is not Josh's best season. He's had maybe he has less turnovers, but he's not had the great. So the prerequisite can't be because he's no longer playing with Diggs.
Stephon Diggs.
Because if Diggs was okay with the Texans, but he wasn't just a dynamic player to where it showed like, oh my God, like he's so much better. Like they were
Gabriel
good.
ain't do nothing in Jacksonville. And Gabriel
But
ain't do nothing in Jacksonville.
He didn't change the direction of their team to where they were just so much better. Like, to say what they're saying is like, it's kind of ridiculous. Just being very blunt. Like, it's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard of. It's like, well, Stephon Diggs is not there. Well, Stephon Diggs didn't change. They make CJ Stroud 3 times better. Even in the time frame he played, man, I know he got hurt, but even in that time, it took him around to even get rolling. So let's not act like Stephon Diggs changed the direction of the portion of the Texans to where they were just so much better. They weren't. They were okay, but they weren't that much better. So, but we're sounding like a person that we're making this case that Stephon Diggs not being there and having the season he had at Buffalo should have changed, should make Josh having what he had so much, should make him an automatic favorite. Well, I mean, but if you look at it, I mean, it's not true. I mean, there's no negative about it. It's just not true. It's not a true situation. It's one of those things where I get that Diggs is doing his thing. Diggs did his thing, but it's not to that point, man. Like, Diggs is good, but Diggs didn't change the complexion of the Texans the way you see it. I think once Diggs got with another good player, he just was part of the lineup. He was a good receiver on a good team. But you look at it, like, I just can't say that he just made that much of a change, man. So I get with it, though. I'm not here to take away from Josh. I just don't like the fact they took away from Lamar's career year. Lamar may not see those type of stats every year. We don't know.
Yeah, it's a fact.
And so if he does anything near that, and he doesn't win it, because when A-Rod was doing it, they still was giving to A-Rod. And A-Rod was still losing the playoffs. Just to keep a fact. A-Rod was still losing the playoffs, having top 1 seeds, they still was giving it to him. He had a 41-4 season, they gave it to him. Same stats. 41-4, they gave it to A-Rod. A-Rod was damn near 80 at that point. And they still gave it to him. So, like, which one is it? Like, what's the criteria? Because they didn't have fatigue with A-Rod. Just put it out there. They didn't have any fatigue with him. Joe Montana didn't have fatigue with him. They only have fatigue with a guy like Lamar. You know, he's doing the same thing. It's only when they lose to the Raiders that's a problem. It's only a problem with Lamar, but it's not a problem with anybody else. I'm just saying that, man. All right, let's get some NBA discussion. Let's talk about AD's first game since Luka hasn't played yet. Give me your thoughts. D, start us off again. What were your thoughts when you saw AD first game playing against the Mavs, against the Houston Rockets? I think he ended up having like 20, 24 and 13, maybe 6 assists. Then he got hurt in the third quarter to come back out. But what is your thoughts on that trade? And since you weren't here when we talked about it, and AD's first game, do you think this is going to be a championship roster moving forward?
The trade was surprising. I never would have thought that Dallas would move on from Luka. I just felt like with him being 25, I know they had issues with his weight and him playing defense and coming in, doing what he needs to do to get the Mavs over the hump. But it was just surprising. But at the end of the day, ownership now is on the sense of, listen, if you don't fit in with our culture, we're gonna move on from you. And that's basically what they told Luka. I don't care. We don't care if you're 25. We don't care what you got going on. If you're not fitting with what we want to do here, and you don't want to perform at a high level, even though you're performing from an offensive standpoint, but from a defense standpoint as well, we can move on from you. We'll find somebody else. I mean, that's easier said than done. The way that basketball is constructed now, because you can get to the bottom easily. But at the end of the day, they made the trade. I think for Dallas, AD he had a good first game. And AD do what he doing. 26, 14, you know what I'm saying? He do what he normally do. I think that's going to help out with them. He playing the position that he want to play. Now getting injured, that's what he do. You know what I'm saying? He's known for that. But at the end of the day, he's going to help them from an offensive standpoint, because now they got another guy that really can put the ball in the hoop and rebound and do all the other things, and he don't have to play the 5. As for Luka, I think him and LeBron can coexist, but one of them going to have to pound the ball and one of them going to have to distribute. Like, which one? I think that's where it's going to come in. Both of them can't pound the ball. Like, Luka can't pound the ball all day and LeBron can't pound the ball all day. They got to get into the floor of the game and run an offense that way everybody can benefit from. But I think after last night, with the Williams trade getting nixed, who you going to get as a center now? You already had issues rebounding. You already had issues with defense and all of that. So now what you going to do? Like, how are you going to get a big, into LA unless somebody takes a buyout and come to LA? So that they got to figure that out now. But I think all in all, I think Dallas got some things that they can work with. I think they're going to be down the stretch. I think they're going to may not get to the Western Conference Finals, but I think they can get close. I think they can get close. As for the Lakers, they got to find a rim protector. I mean, you're not going to be able to run up and down the floor all night and not be able to rebound, not play defense, and you're not going to win shootouts every game. You're just not. And I think if they got to play Denver, you already know what's going to happen. You already know what's going to happen if they got to play Denver, because they don't have no rim protector. And even when they had AD, they still couldn't beat Denver. So for the Lakers, they got to avoid Denver and shoot their shot at everyone else.
Yeah, man, it was a big trade, man. Like you said, one of the all-time, probably the biggest trade ever. I think for Dallas, it gives them exactly what they need. It's unfortunate AD went out in the first, third quarter. Hopefully he's okay, but you can see the potential, man. The boy had 26, 17, like 3 blocks and a half a play. With Kyrie now get the ball in his hand. But I think for Dallas, the biggest part of that trade for me is getting Matt Christie. He showed, bro, he can score the basketball. He can defend. That'll give them another shooter to help, with Kyrie. So Dallas is definitely primed to make some noise in the playoffs. And it's all on AD to be healthy, man. I mean, they got the bigs. They got all the pieces they need to really, honestly, win a title this year if they're healthy. If Kyrie is locked in and healthy, Dallas is going to be a problem. The Lakers going to be perfectly fine, even without the trade, because there's only 2 bigs in the West that you really worry about is AD and Jokic. And rebounding, bro, sometimes, bro, it's about effort. It ain't about sometimes, you got to have the biggest guy. It ain't about rim protection all the time, bro. Or you really not out hustle the next man to the basketball. Are they going to have issues defensively? Yeah, because LeBron ain't doing it no more. Luka is a cone. even though he's playing a little bit better defense this year when he played early in the year. But for both teams, man, it's an amazing trade. I'm excited for the playoffs. The West is going to be deep. Houston is rolling. OKC going to be a problem. They just got Chet back. Denver is on a little roll. But the Western Conference, bro, is deep, dog. And I love the trade. De'Aaron Fox, can they do a little something with Wemby? So yeah, it's gonna be a good Western Conference playoffs, bro. You're on mute, Jay. JD, you're on mute. JD, you're on mute.
Hey, how shocking it was. It was absolutely a shocking trade. It was absolutely one of those trades that you're just like, my God, like who'd have thought a young player in his prime getting traded for an all NBA player, first team, for another all NBA player, maybe first, second team. But once I saw the look and how the field went, as far as when AD finally played, it made sense. The problem is he going to be healthy? That's going to be the key. They have a really good shot because I think everybody's starting to notice that OKC's looked in the front line. Their five is fairly small. The four will be Chet, and Chet still is very light to this point. You have a chance. You have a strong front court. If you have big bodies who can body them up, playing in between the rim, I think it's going to be a very tough fight for OKC. So then it's all about your wing players, who got the most talent at the wings. And if you're Dallas, you're going to bet on Kyrie going against SGA that he can match him production for production. So that is a huge thing. It looked good. It's just about AD being healthy. Like, that's just really honestly where it comes to it. AD, like, can he stay healthy, man? And they showed the other day, like, as soon as we were looking at him, we were watching him do what he's doing. Like, oh man, he's playing well. He came out the gate. I think he scored like 6 straight points. I mean, he's looking like the AD that everybody's been waiting to see for years, and he gets injured. Literally the third quarter. And on the most like abnormal play where I don't think anybody hit him. I don't think it happened. Next thing you know, he's just grabbing his midsection. Everybody's like, okay, what happened? And that's just the deal that you're gonna have to deal with. Like he has these fluke injuries that you cannot explain. Mm-hmm. That's going to be the key. Like, can he stay healthy? If he stays healthy, they got a shot. Mm-hmm. It's a fact. Like, there's nothing you can take away from him. If he's healthy, they got a legit shot to win it all.
Yeah.
Right? Because you got two bona fide all-pro players. You got Kyrie and you got AD, and you got a great supporting class. You got shooting across the board. You got shooting when it comes to every dimension. They picked up some players. You talk about Chris, they picked him up. I think they traded for another player.
And they got Dinwiddie playing the point guard.
Yeah, you got players in every position. Can he stay healthy? Is going to be the key, because if he can, man, they got a shot. They got a shot to win it all. If he can't stay healthy, they're going to go out in the first round, maybe second. Right?
Even Kyrie been banged up too. Like, Kyrie got to stay healthy. Like, he's been in and out of the lineup.
That is 1,000% the key. Can he stay healthy? If he can stay healthy, man, they got a legit shot.
Yeah.
If he can't stay healthy, they're gonna be sitting right there watching the game, just like us, watching the finals. But it was really good. I mean, I'm very interested to see what Kyle Kuzma, yeah. Kyle Kuzma, what he looks like, what he looks like in Milwaukee. Would I push the needle for Milwaukee? Would that help them, knowing trading away Middleton, get a younger, more athletic player at this point in their careers, right? What would that do for them? There's going to be some buyouts. We just saw Ben Simmons getting bought out. He going to the Clippers. What does that really do for them?
Nothing.
Right? Does that push the needle for them? LA's playing really well right now without Luka playing. What is it going to? But losing that big man because the trade got descended. What's that going to do? Because they're really light up front. So now they got to hope a buyout happens.
Yeah.
They got to pray a buyout happens. Right? So what's that going to look like? It's a lot of things that we all got to, they got to figure out. So on both ends, Miami got a lot stronger. Right? You know what I mean? What's Jimmy going to look like with the Warriors? Is that going to be something that, that they can turn to a championship or at least a good playoff run, right?
Yeah.
San Antonio, I like what they're doing. They're building for the future. But can
Yeah.
Chris Paul and my boy, can they coexist on the same floor at the same time?
How
Right?
tall De'Aaron Fox is?
He's like 6'5".
They pretty big. I mean,
He's
they
not
they
playing at the
starting
two
both
right
of them.
now, but De'Aaron Fox needs the ball in his hands.
Yeah. CP more of a shooter now. Like he kind of Jason
Yeah,
Kidd
he's going to
expanding
still
his
play a lot of
game.
pick and roll basketball. He still has the ball in his hands.
I think they can coexist.
They got no choice because unless they buy CP3 out, nothing's going to happen for them. But is this a playoff push for them? I think the NBA really wants to see Wemby in the playoffs. I think
Oh,
that'd be
no
a
doubt.
huge,
No question.
that'd be a huge situation for the NBA if they can get him in the playoffs this season. So those are the things I'm just seeing from my eye point, from my standpoint, as far as the NBA. Like, what is the changes going to make the NBA better? It was a lot of movement this year compared to last. But will that be championship movement? Do OKC have enough?
Yeah.
Does Memphis have enough? Right?
Yeah.
You know what I
They
mean?
flying under the radar, really.
They flying on the radar. They traded
Marcus Smart.
Maurice
Marcus Smart.
Yeah, Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart. They traded Marcus Smart to the Wizards.
What the fuck the Wizards doing, man?
I think they're trying to get expired contracts. I don't know. But I mean, maybe they're trying to get guys they can get rid of. They're trying to create more space. I mean, even if they create more space, I don't know about anybody wants to come to DC. Unless it's unless they're trying to have a good time. So,
and even that ain't even like it used to be.
For real.
Well, it is for them. You know what I mean?
True. The younger
That's
generation.
that's the age range thing. That's the age thing. That's not DC is still a good time. That's just but that's for young people. You old, so you wouldn't know. DC,
That's true.
you know, like you on the other side of the range. So yeah, for you, it may not work. For me, it may not work. For the young cats coming in millionaires, it may be just what they like. But for us, we old, bro. Like, so yeah, that I can't even say it's not a good time. It's not a good time for me because I don't care. But yeah, that's just the difference of that. And I just seem like that's what they're trying to do. Clear some space. But I don't know if that's gonna make them a championship team. I heard they were trying to bring Bradley Beal back. So I didn't understand that part.
For what?
Like, I don't get like I read that. The Atlanta Hawks and Bradley and the Wizards were both trying to get Bradley Beal, and they're trying to bring Bradley Beal back. And I'm like, why? You know what I mean? Like, what was the point of trading him then? So if I'm Bradley Beal, why would I want to come back? Like, I've been like, I when he got no trade clause, I'd be like, hell no. So if the salary's still the same, I just want to do it. But anyway, yeah. So that's where it's at. So, it's a lot of movement, but I don't know if it's championship movement. We're gonna, the future will tell us. Do the Lakers got enough?
Yeah, it's gonna be a great 20+ games that are coming down the stretch after All-Star. There's a lot of basketball left to be played. Does the Warriors make a run? What Phoenix gonna do? KD pissed. He in his feelings. So we'll see, man.
Yeah, it's interesting on that end too, right? So even the KD situation, what is KD gonna do? When he gonna make a change? He can't make a change, but are they gonna be able to win a championship with KD in his moves like he'd be? That's not a form of leadership. So it's all across the board. It's very interesting what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't know why KD in his feelings, but he an emotional type player anyway.
Yeah, he does do a lot of emotional things. It's definitely interesting. He's a definitely interesting guy. He's emotional and he can be an asshole. So like a little bit of both. Like how you both? Right? Yeah. He's sensitive and then an asshole. Anyway, so any other comments and statements that we want to make before we get up out of here? That's our last topic of the day.
Real quick, what y'all thought about only 4 players going in the Hall of Fame, NFL?
Man, I got an issue with that.
You speak on it.
I think you at least should have like 6 every time. Because I'm like, man, people be dead and gone by the time who you think that should be in the doggone Hall of Fame. Like, they don't even get a chance to see it. You know what I'm saying? And I think they should have an average of 6, like no more than 6. Or you know what I'm saying, on certain years you might do 8 to 10, because you got a lot of dudes that been sitting waiting for years and years and years, and they probably got the stats, they probably got everything they need to get in, but they keep getting bypassed. So I just think they need to have it where you do 6 one year and maybe 10 the next year, or just get a set that where you can do every other year, do a different amount and not just 4. Because you can't tell me those are the only 4 dudes who got in were most deserving.
Yeah.
Like just those 4. Like, come on, man. You gotta make a way for guys who have put up great stats, who has been a part of the NFL, who has done their job to the highs of the high, and then you still passing the buck every year. Like, to me, I don't agree with it. I just think it needs to be like every other year have a different amount, but not just 4 people, bro. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that was eye opening. And look, it's hard to probably get in the Hall of Fame. Everybody got great numbers, but man, what does Reggie Wayne, Torrey Holt got to do to get in? Like, this shit is crazy, bro. And I get it. Sterling Sharp is an amazing story. His short career was super amazing. But it seems like the Hall of Fame is never going to put 2, 3 receivers. Well, they did 2 before, but they're not going to put 3 receivers in at the same time. Next year, Larry Fitzgerald is up. He going to make it first ballot more than likely. But yeah, 4 people, bro. Come on, dog. Like that's eye opening. Like, that don't make no sense, though. No sense whatsoever.
You know what? I didn't even pay attention to it that much because I wasn't excited for Sterling Sharp. That was pretty cool for him finally getting in. I think he's been on the ballot for a while.
Yep.
They've been on or taking off, been on and taking off. So him getting in is, I think it's pretty. I think they did a good job of finally getting him in. I didn't know. I know Antonio Gates. He deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was the first ballot Hall of Famer. Torrey Holt should be in. He was a dominant receiver at his time. Yep. So was his running mate. I just don't see when I look at, I don't know the criteria too much anymore. I think it kind of changes per year per player. I think I stopped watching it or really paying attention to it when they didn't make T.O. a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Right.
I think that's what it was. For me, that's when I said, yeah, this doesn't make sense. If you don't have T.O. as a first round Hall of Famer, then I already know what this is about. So that's where it ended for me. So I haven't really been paying attention to it since. And, it is what it is. It's just, they're going to be, the voters vote how they want to, not particularly who's most deserving. But then they did leave out Eli. So, and I wanted, can't Eli make the second one? Because I don't know a player that he would make it over on the second one.
He's not making it over Breeze next year. Breeze going to be in.
Yeah, you got like Eli. I don't know if Eli's gonna be. It's like, who's gonna make it over the second time? So Eli may be on that battle for a minute, because who is he going to be able to make? Because his career is not better than some of the other players who are gonna be on the next year.
Mm-mm.
So
yeah, with Eli, like, he never was great statistically at nothing other than winning the 2 Super Bowls. He never led the league in yards or touchdowns. Like he wasn't dominant. He just won 2 Super Bowls. That's it, and got the Manning name.
Yeah, because when I look at Eli, I don't think Eli is going to. Let me see. Next year,
I don't even think he's a Hall of Famer. I mean, I'm just gonna put it. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I just don't.
One thing with Eli is this: who can he go over when they start looking at quarter? I don't know if they have a limit on how many quarterbacks they take in or not. But when you're gonna start like me. I wouldn't pick Eli with Donovan McNabb. Right? I think Donovan McNabb is better stats than Eli. So I think that's one. Donovan McNabb. When Matt Ryan's up, I'm gonna pick Matt Ryan over Eli because I think Matt Ryan's had an MVP. Right? I think the only thing that Eli has is the 2 Super Bowls, but outside of that, Matt Ryan's had a better overall career, especially from a statistic standpoint. So outside of those runs that Eli had, he had a loss in the first round. Those 2 runs were it. Otherwise, he lost in the first round. So I don't really can say whether. Yeah, I just don't see where where Eli's going to get over somebody.
And Ben Roethlisberger going to be up soon.
Big
So I
Ben
mean,
soon. Yeah, and Ray just said Drew Brees. Um,
they might not let Vic in, but I'm just saying. I mean,
I think Vic
yeah,
get
Vic's
in.
been out for a while, so I think it's after 5 years, correct?
Yeah, the
I
5.
think it is.
Yeah, so I don't think Vic's gonna get in, and I think Vic understands that. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't see where he's gonna get. Yeah, I don't see it, man.
Unless it's the
I
Manning
don't
name, dog. That's it.
because when you start looking across the league, and you're trying to figure out like who is it, what player would he be able to they'll bring in and say, okay, like he's I will put him here, we'll put him there. When you start going around the league, you realize that he doesn't have a better career than a lot of these players that are out there. He's just, I mean, he's had a good career and he's won those Super Bowls, but he's like more of a Super Bowl guy than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Was Terry Bradshaw? Was he your first ballot?
I
I
think so.
think back then, yeah, I think he got in the first ballot.
Because stat wise, it's not overwhelming. What
But
about
the
with Joe
four Super
Heisman?
Bowls
Was Joe Theismann a first ballot?
is he in?
I don't think he in.
He's
I
not
don't think
in.
Joe Theismann in. I don't think Joe
Yeah,
Theismann
see,
in.
that's projection I would look at Eli at, like a Joe Theismann type career,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think
You got
that's what I would look at him and say he's more like Joe Theismann than anything else. Well, listen, it's not my problem. It's not my problem to make the decisions. Good luck with him. You know what I mean? But it's some of the guys I just want to see it. Yeah. So I wouldn't see it, but yeah, Joe Theismann is really where I would look at him at.
Yeah.
If it was my decision, he if I had a comparison, I'm trying to think of a comparison of a quarterback that you would be like, man, like that
Joe
guy.
Plunkett. Joe Plunkett. Jim Plunkett, I mean. Jim Plunkett. He got 2 Super Bowls with the Raiders. Eli got 2 Super Bowls with the Raiders. But at the end of the day, he ain't in.
Yeah, I'm looking at I'm trying to look at some guys here. Let me see, like Eli comparison, career comparison.
I'm just Jim Plunkett.
Yeah, and then Eli career record 117 and 117, bro.
Yeah. Like
Hey, bro, he should not be a Hall of Famer, dog. But
yeah, I'm looking
him
at
getting to a finalist is ridiculous.
like
For real.
he has 4 Pro Bowls, 2, and they're saying it's compared to like a Phil Simms, right? Like, was Phil Simms the first ballot? I don't know.
He'll never get in.
Is Phil in?
No.
So yeah, he's a Phil Simms type of person. Yeah, I just don't see it.
Say, bro, you know who you remind me of? Joe Flacco. Just an okay quarterback. Got you 2 Super Bowls. Or how many Super Bowls Flacco got?
Flacco got 1.
Never was great at nothing. He just got 2 Super Bowls. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's mind-boggling that Eli even made to be a finalist, dog, honestly.
Yeah. He got that off the
just
game,
looking at the numbers, like he never dominated his era of nothing. Like, how you even make the finals? The cut. So you 117 and 117. You got over 200 interceptions. You never led the league in touchdowns, never led the league in yards, never was nothing.
You're right. He has 244 interceptions, 344 touchdowns. So 366 touchdowns, 57,000 yards, 117, 84 quarterback rating, Pro Bowl selection for 2 Super Bowl wins. That's it. And they said his comparisons like whatever they do. Kerry Collins, Manny has more completion yards and touchdowns than Collins. Manny had more completion yards, touchdowns than Fran Talkerton. Manny had more yards than Sims. And that's it. But those are the guys out his comparison. That's his comps.
Man, that's crazy. That's
And
crazy.
I don't even know why I got Fred Talkerton up there, because that was way back in the day when, you know what I'm saying, it was okay football. Like, stop it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't see it.
It's ridiculous. But when you got the Manning name, bro, it opens up some doors for you.
That's still
it does, but but
it shouldn't be no Hall of it shouldn't be Hall of Fame worthy though. If that, I don't care how great your name is, that joint should not be Hall of Fame worthy, especially when you got other people out there. Like, just because your brother and your daddy got in, because he was New Orleans. Like he was everything in New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't winning, but that's all New Orleans had.
All chain in the Hall of Fame.
He ain't in the Hall of Fame?
Monday, no.
Well, hell, his son shouldn't be in there. If he ain't in there, his son should be in there. The right one, the right Manning is in.
Yeah, he was a dog.
Period.
And Peyton was in the era when you got Brady, Rodgers at an elite level, like Breeze, like he stood out from the rest of them, though. All pros, like MVP.
Eli should not get in, bro. Eli should not get in. I don't care. He should not. He's not a Hall of Famer. And if he thinks he's a Hall of Famer, he's a fool.
Yeah.
I don't know. But he definitely I will say this. I will say that his stats don't match the level of attention to some of the other Hall of Fame or Hall of Fame snubs. Mm-hmm. But he's gonna get in Mississippi Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? Mississippi Hall of Fame is good. I think that'll work. Yeah, I think that'll work. All right, man. Any final thoughts before we get out of here, man?
Man, great show, baby.
Great show. Get ready for the Super Bowl tonight.
Yes, sir.
All right, you heard it here. Our picks here. We got 2 Eagles, 1 KC. Do not include us in your assumption for bets. We do not. We're not that good about it. And if you do that, you probably should listen to me more because I think pretty sure my record is better than everybody else's. So yeah, I'm pretty sure of that. Outside of that, man, listen, do not use us for your bets. You will lose. Dramatically. You will lose money. You will not get money. You will not get money dealing with us. All right, man. So we don't have any more thoughts. Ray, get us out of here.
We out.